Howdy, this is Dale. Just something to think about. If you would have picked up the San Francisco Chronicle on December 14th, 2005, the front page story was about a whale. And it was a whale that had wandered in and gotten itself all tangled up in a bunch of crab traps. The ropes were literally all around the whale. There was even a rope going through its mouth, and the whale was spotted by a fisherman, and he called a bunch of folks and said, "Hey, there's a whale out here, and it's definitely in danger." So they got boats out there, and they got divers out there, and they realized that the whale was actually in danger of drowning because there were hundreds and hundreds of pounds of traps, and the ropes were all, again, all over the thing. So the only thing they could really do was to get in the water with the whale and carefully cut away all of the ropes and release the whale from its captors. And so the process took several hours, but when they were finally able to release the whale, it was overjoyed. It literally swam in circles, and one account says that the whale actually went diver by diver and sort of nudged them with its nose. And while they don't know exactly what that was about, a lot of people wanted to think that the whale was actually thanking them for releasing it from the traps. One of the divers said this: when she was free, she swam in what seemed like joyous circles. Then she came back to each and every one of us one at a time and nudged us, pushing us gently around as if she was saying thank you. One diver described this as the most beautiful experience in their life. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I just want you to think about prisons. I want you to think about why we're where we're at. And maybe if we could stop and remember what Jesus came to do, that could be an incredibly hopeful thing for us. In fact, Jesus, when he was at his hometown, went to a synagogue service and was given the scroll of Isaiah, and he opened it up and he read this. This is how Luke records it. It's in the 4th chapter of Luke. He says, the scroll of Isaiah the prophet was handed to Jesus, and he unrolled the scroll and found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he's appointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim that captives will be released, that the blind will see, that the oppressed will be set free, and that the time of the Lord's favor has come." Then Jesus rolled up the scroll and handed it back to the attendant and sat down. All the eyes of the synagogue looked at him. Then he began to speak. "The scripture you have just heard has been fulfilled this very day," Jesus said. Jesus came to bring freedom. He came to bring release. He came to set people free. And I just been thinking about this a lot, especially in this season. And I wonder if there's anything that's tangling you up right now. Are you being tangled up by loneliness? If you are, I want to remind you that Jesus has promised never to leave us alone. He's promised that he'd place his Spirit in us, that we would not be orphaned. He's promised that he would be with us all the time. Are you bound up? Are you feeling overwhelmed by a sense of aimlessness right now? All the things that you had been doing, all the things that you had received meaning or significance from, they're gone, and you're wondering, what's my purpose? What's this about? I want you to remember that Jesus has given all of us a significant mission, a mission to change the world one life at a time. Maybe that life is somebody in your home, or maybe it's a neighbor next door, or maybe it's a relative across the country that you can reach out to and love and help them to remember that they are precious in God's sight. That is the most important, significant thing that any of us could participate in, even now. Maybe the captor is fear. Maybe you're just afraid. And again, there's lots of uncertainty. We don't know about the economics. We don't know about the sickness. We don't know about the future. And all of that can be terrifying. But I want to remind you again that Jesus has overcome all our enemies. And he's given us hope for a future, even that's beyond this world. Maybe the captor is guilt, stuff that you've done or haven't done, or things that you did wrong, or choices that you made that have ultimately put you in a bad place. Maybe it's just good to be reminded that Jesus offers forgiveness, and more than that, He offers a brand new start. He offers us a place where we can be whole once again. My hope for you, my hope for all of your family is that you will know what it is to be loved, that you will know what it is to be freed, that you will know what it is to swim those joyous circles in thanks for what Jesus has done for us. And maybe as a result of that, you would be in a position to free other people, that you would be in a place where other people could know the same hope that you have. So, something to think about. How are you going to be free? What are you going to do to free others?